Hey Matt, how are you?
Oh, good. Working on a lot of sleep.
Working on a lot of sleep? Yeah, did you have a good couple of weeks for the holidays?
Well, I'm talking about the big game last night. We actually didn't get a lot of sleep because we were celebrating until midnight last night. My wife and I were high fiving and chest bumping in the living room.
Oh my gosh. So I'm taking it that you're a huge Clemson fan.
You see a tiger paw?
I sure do.
Yeah.
So, with Clemson winning the championship right now, or last night, why do you think they dominated?
From a football standpoint, I think it was momentum, and the game could have gone probably the other way if Alabama had gotten some momentum. But those two programs have been built the right way and are consistently the best in the country. These two teams have combined for 4 of the last 5 national championships, and that's amazing. It's absolutely amazing that two programs could be that strong.
You know, the team that I root for used to be very strong.
Who's that?
I cheer for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Ooh,
It's been since like the 90s, but we're working on it.
yeah, yeah. No, yeah. They've fallen on some hard times recently.
Yes, I mean, we got Scott Frost back, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But speaking of coaches, Dabo, I've
Dabo
heard a lot
Swinney.
about him.
Yes.
What lessons do you take away from his leadership?
Well, so I lead a team too, right? And I love to study great leaders and see what makes them so great. Dabo and Nick Saban both are just two phenomenal leaders. But I think something that makes Dabo so good at what he does is that he has a mission and a purpose that is higher than himself. And he gets the buy-in of his team behind that mission and purpose. And everybody is in a service mindset. It's not a what's in it for me mindset. It's how can I serve? And I think if you come from a place of service, that results in success follow. If you're trying to do the right thing by people, then the success will follow. I think that when we get selfish and we say, what's in it for me? Or how can I make the most money? Or how could I get the most notoriety? Or if I'm an individual football player, how could I rise my stock the best for NFL scouts because it's all about me? I think that that's where teams lose. But when you get a team that says, how can we be here together? How can we stand together? How can we serve the greater good? And in Dabo's case, he thanks the Lord and his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, number one. So he has an even bigger purpose than just serving the kids. And I think that's one of the reasons that they are so successful.
And I think that's awesome, especially with having a higher purpose and, a guideline to kind of go by to help people. So I guess my question for you now is what are your keys for fulfillment and happiness?
Yeah, and I think it's the same thing. So I'd say both of those teams. I know Alabama's players are definitely disappointed and they had wanted that ultimate goal, but the journey and the path that they took, that is happiness. And my mentor, Tony Robbins, has always said that happiness comes from growth and progress. And, if I look at my real estate team or even the clients that we serve, people who are growing and constantly saying, how can I learn more? How can I grow more? How can I become more? It's that pursuit of growth that happiness comes from. It's not necessarily the championship. I know that Clemson is riding a high. I'm riding a high that they won. All Clemson fans are. But a lot of times people win a championship and then they go into a depression a few weeks later. And it's because they had this purpose, they had this mission, they were growing to accomplish something, and they reached what they thought was supposed to be the pinnacle or the mountaintop, and they found out that they were hollow and empty after they had finished. So as soon as you win a championship or as soon as you achieve a goal, you have to set another goal, because true happiness and fulfillment comes from growth. And I think the other things are contribution to others beyond yourself, and then leading with love. So those are my big three. Constantly be growing and learning, having contribution to others beyond yourself, and then leading with love. And that's just being kind and trying to figure out how can I serve and be kind at the same time. So I think Dabo definitely embodies all three of those in everything he does. You can tell by the way that he is in his press conferences and just the type of person he is, which is why everybody loves him. In fact, even USC, South Carolina fans in this town have a hard time not liking him, and they're the biggest rival.
Well, that says something about a person then.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, I loved all of that. Especially, I've never thought about it as a way, once you do get to the level of winning a championship, you need to set another goal and keep moving forward. So I really like that. That's a good takeaway, but congrats on the championship last night.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you so much. Bree, good talking with you today.
All right. Well, it looks like Matt is having some technical difficulties right now. But if you guys need to get a hold of him, he will be posting his number in the comments below. Thank you guys so much.